Welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. Today we're attending a peace conference between the Federation and the Klingons. Unfortunately, it seems like some unexpected visitors have joined the peace conference as well, so with some Orions up in space blockading the planet, we have to go eliminate the jerks. Now, I decided to leave this fight in so you could see if the Orions picked up any new tricks, or if they got any tougher, like the Gorns did. So we'll go ahead and engage this group of Orion corvettes over here. Now, the first thing you'll notice is the Orions are still kinda, well, weak. But that's true of all corvette ships, so maybe if we added that brigand cruiser down below, the fight'll get more interesting. But hey, what was that? We just saw a bunch of guys warp in. This is the Orion's trick. They summon fighters. Every single one of their ships can do it, including those little corvettes. Now, they don't summon a lot. You generally won't bump into more than one or two, but those fighters can make a difference if your shields are low, like I mentioned earlier. And I can't really devote the time to destroying them, because I cannot leave the bigger ships shooting at me. Fortunately, like I mentioned, those corvettes do go down pretty quickly, and once their bigger support ships are gone, the fighters are basically easy prey. Additionally, a lot of times it is possible to take pot shots at them as they swing by with your aft weapons. It just takes a little bit of quick targeting. And if you're really lucky, occasionally you can hit a fighter with a torpedo, but that almost never works. So yeah, as you can see, between the fighters and me fighting two groups of Orions, this fight was actually reasonably tough, although with most of the fighters destroyed and all the corvettes down, that single cruiser can't really do enough damage to me anymore to make a difference, so at this point it's just a matter of time. We are hitting the point in the game, though, when enemy ships start hitting a lot harder, as you'll see later. But yep, and another interesting thing to note, that exploding corvette actually took out those other two fighters, so we don't have to. That's the other danger of fighters. If they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, they just get creamed by things that only do minimal damage to a bigger ship. And with the Orions defeated in space, we're going to go ahead and beam down to the Regula colony so that we can participate in the peace conference. Or rather, we're going to go talk to Morale Paris. Now, Morale Paris is actually the daughter of Tom Paris and B'Elanna Torres from Star Trek Voyager. In Voyager, she was the Kuvah'magh, which is basically Klingon Jesus. She's still the Kuvah'magh, even back in the Alpha Quadrant, and even though she's a Federation member. So, and that's basically all she's saying right here. She's actually the chief of security on the USS Kirk, which, if you remember, was the ship that saved us from that first Undine dreadnought. Now, it looks like the evil Klingon and Orion raiders have planted some spatial charges, just like the ones we put up a couple missions ago. So we're going to go ahead and deal with that and help anyone along the way that we meet. So yeah, Swordmaster, still nowhere near as dangerous as the Rawik. They're a lot easier to kill, even though they've got shields. And, yeah, they don't hold you with every single attack, which is a plus. Although Targs can, which is, again, why I like to target the Targ handlers first. And you'll see that Targ handler just called in another pet Targ. We're going to kill him before he can call in any others. And I'm probably going to phase out that smoke grenade for something more useful pretty soon. I'm getting a bit tired of it, and it's not really contributing anything to these fights. And so, with the last of the spatial charges disarmed, we just have to fight off the rest of the Klingons here. And then we need to chat with Morale Paris again and find out what else we need to do. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Basically, we just need to go inside and rescue Federation diplomats from inside the building behind us. So, heading into the building, we find, surprise of surprises, more Klingons. Again, it's not a big deal, but they are being led by a Dahar Master. Now, a Dahar Master is basically a swordsman on crack. They do obscene damage, both with their dual pistols and with the Batleth. And so, it's really not a good idea to stand toe-to-toe with one of these guys. You can do it for a little while, but one-on-one he's probably going to kill you, unless you vaporize him. And so, with him dealt with, we're going to go ahead, rescue the last of the diplomats, and then we beam up to find out what the hell's going on out in space right now. So yeah, as we join the USS Benedict Arnold back in space, we immediately get jumped by some Klingons. Now, the Klingons will actually be using a new trick this fight. They will actually be using their cloaking devices in combat, so you will see the bastards vanish on me. You can generally tell when they're gonna do it because they'll make one of those big swooping turns. It's one of those things, it's tricky to predict if they're gonna do it, but if you do spot it in time, you can actually hit them with a torpedo just as they're cloaking and do damage straight to hull. It's actually pretty nifty, but for the most part it's unnecessary because birds of prey are just as squishy as any other Corvette design, especially from the back or the sides. They're just much, much better at keeping their front shields fully charged than others. Possibly because Klingons actually get a huge bonus to their front shields. That said, it still doesn't take a lot of effort to put down 3 birds of prey. It's just not all that big a threat. So, as we put down the first wave of Klingon attack squadrons, right about now... Okay, my timing's off a little bit today. But yeah, as we put the rest of them down, we then get hailed by the Klingon ambassador that Morale Paris was here to talk to. Ambassador Cass. Sorry, Ambassador Cass. I confused him with another Klingon of note, Dahar Master Corps. Anyway, Cass wants our help defeating Ambassador Bavat, or sorry, Admiral Bavat, who, and they actually use the two interchangeably. He's both an admiral and an ambassador, although, as someone else puts it at one point, the only ambassadoring he ever does is with the tip of a disruptor. Bavat wants the war to continue for some reason, so we have to go ahead and both defeat his minions and deal with Bavat himself, which doesn't take too long, all things considered, but hey, birds of prey. So yeah, guess who just earned himself a new recurring villain? That's right, we're gonna be seeing a fair bit of Admiral Bavat. He runs away at this point because he's a colossal wuss. He's gonna be doing that a lot. He does a lot of running away for a Klingon. But with him out of the way, we're all done. So I'll see you next time.